Alex sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the packed boxes scattered around his small apartment. It had been a year since he lost his job, a year filled with uncertainty and soul-searching. The economy had taken a downturn, and like many others, he found himself suddenly unemployed, struggling to make ends meet. The stress had strained his relationships, and soon after, he found himself alone, his long-term partner deciding to leave for a more stable life. The apartment, once a place of comfort, now felt like a cage. The walls seemed to close in on him, each day blending into the next in a monotonous cycle of despair. Alex knew he couldn't continue like this. It was time for a change. It was time to start over. Chapter 1. The Decision. Starting over began with a decision. For Alex, it was the realization that he needed to leave behind the remnants of his old life. He had saved up just enough money to relocate, and after much contemplation, he decided to move to a small town on the coast. It was a place he had visited once as a child, and the memories of the ocean and the friendly locals offered a glimmer of hope. Alex packed his belongings into his old car, leaving behind anything that wasn't essential. The drive was long, but the changing scenery helped to clear his mind. The towering cityscape gradually gave way to rolling hills and open fields, and finally, the distant shimmer of the ocean appeared on the horizon. Chapter 2. Finding a new home. Upon arriving in the coastal town, Alex rented a small cottage near the beach. The sound of the waves and the salty sea breeze were a welcome change from the noise and pollution of the city. The cottage was modest, but it had a warmth to it that Alex hadn't felt in a long time. The first few days were spent settling in. Alex explored the town, getting to know the local shops and cafes. He introduced himself to his neighbors, who were surprisingly welcoming. There was Mrs. Thompson, an elderly lady who lived next door and loved to garden, and Tom, a fisherman who owned a small boat and offered to take Alex out on the water one day.